This is Hog Reaction presented by Game Day Lodge.
Give it to Dominique Johnson, misdirects, left side, Johnson at the goal line. Did he get in? Touchdown, Arkansas!
The perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team-building activities. Just search Game Day Lodge on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Airbnb.
To DeSanders coming right, puts his foot in the ground, cuts back up the middle. To the 20, to the 15, rocket to the 10, to the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Call or text the program at 866-285-4005.
Welcome in to Hog Reaction here on ESPN Arkansas, presented by Game Day Lodge. Arkansas 3-0 after a thorough beating of Georgia Southern today, 45-10. Derek Ruskin here along with Drew Barrett, and you heard in the open, and we will remind you as much as possible because we are in the Northwest Arkansas studio. The phone number is different on this Hog Reaction, so you want to get in. It's 866-285-4005. It's the Ruskin and Zach number. That's the number you can call or text and be on the program. We've got some texts already that we'll get into in a little bit. We'll load up the calls right now as, yes, they beat Georgia Southern, but the main takeaway I thought tonight, as Drew Barrett joins me here, is that now you can officially move on to Texas A&M week, and the hype train can get going for that game next Saturday afternoon.
Exactly. Now we can finally get away from, hey, why are you talking about A&M? We still got – you got to be game by game. Like, no, I don't. We're radio people.
That's right.
We can if I want to talk Missouri, I can talk Missouri. The team's not listening to me. They're not listening to anything's going on our text line. They're not listening to any of our callers about and making the team lose their focus. No. Now we can finally move on to A&M, move on to Southwest Classic, and dominating defensive performance. And the main thing that sticks out to me, and you look at the statistics, 13 to 23, 366 yards, and 3 touchdowns. It's a great day. I mean, on paper, a great day. But I still don't feel like most people have more confidence in KJ Jefferson when they left the game as they went in. It just still feels floating the ball accuracy just isn't where you want it to be going into conference play.
It's inconsistent. Like, he nails those 2 throws, oddly enough, after one of the linemen goes down. Bang, bang, and he nails 2 throws, including the long one to
Morris.
The guy from Florida State or whatever on the near sideline. So that's the best throws of the day, maybe of the season right there. But you're right. It's I don't know. I mean, they're winning, and he's rolling up yards, so it's kind of it's an eye of the beholder thing, because if you're a rose-colored glasses fan, you see nothing wrong with any of this. But if you have a little more critical eye, you are noticing that maybe they aren't playing well enough to win against a top 10 SEC team just yet. Maybe they're on their way there, but hey, they are 3-0, and but you're right. There's a little of everything here.
Yeah,
you know?
We don't want to be too critical. I mean, it's 3-0. Win,
right.
win. You're getting it done. I mean, but that's the thing. You feel like until they fully put 100% of the game all together, the other shoe's going to drop. And I don't want to be critical. I want to celebrate the win, 45-10, win out, dominated, did exactly what you were supposed to do. The best player for Georgia Southern was the punter, which he had a pretty good leg on him throughout the game. So don't want to harp on the negatives, but when you see negatives against a team like Georgia Southern, they just pop out more.
Right. And the point is, are they negatives, or are they just things to point out to correct?
Yes.
Because you want to be at your absolute best particularly into this next stretch, A&M, Georgia, on and on and on. So there are things that need to be cleaned up. It was not a perfect performance. Last week was pretty close. This week was a solid performance. It was not perfect. Some of that is going to be a little bit of you lose your edge because it's Georgia Southern, not Georgia that you're facing. So they'll probably ramp that edge right back up when they see Texas A&M on the field, I would think, next Saturday. But the other thing to take away here is, like what Pittman told us is true. Last year they had they won the Mississippi State game, no let up after that. They had the controversy at Auburn where they get screwed at the end, and they don't let go of the rope there. And then this test, having the whole state patch on the back all week and did not let down, and they passed another test.
Yeah, you passed the test. You know, you wouldn't, as coach at Alabama, say, eat the rat poison.
That's right. Yes.
You stayed away. You saw the cheese over there, but you knew what it was, and you stayed away from it, and you got the job done. And you had a lot of guys that looked good. I mean, how about Traylon Burks on that 91-yard touchdown? Just a simple screen pass swing over, and he just finds a hole and breaks it off and outruns everybody. And you saw some great runs out of A.J. Green. You obviously saw Johnson go lead the team in 72 yards. Rocket Sanders had a decent day, 4.3 average, 43 total yards. So run game, you know, is still there. You know, there's definitely no let up. Passing, though, still feels like it's got some ways to go.
Yeah, I thought this game went a little different than I thought it would, Drew, because I thought they would just mash these guys for like 400 yards on the ground. It turns out that they ended up really doing damage in the air, and the rushing totals were impressive, but they weren't at that really like physically dominating level like we saw a week ago. And it's another testament that, you know, you can't play at the perfect level 12 times in a season. It's so rare. I mean, even today, as good as Alabama is,
I mean, who saw that coming?
I mean, they're in a struggle with Florida there right until the end. It's not possible or realistic to expect that 12 times to happen. It's happened once. You're going to need to happen a few more times in league play to get some SEC wins. But it was a good day, and they're 3-0, and now you can look forward to attempting to beat Texas A&M for the first time since they joined the SEC. Hasn't happened since 2011, and Arkansas feels good. I'm sure Texas A&M feels good. They beat another tomato can today on their schedule.
Tell me Terry Wilson behind center isn't good in New Mexico?
No, it was an easy day there. So, all right, we're going to get to some calls here at the ESPN Arkansas Hog Reaction postgame show here, presented by Game Day Lodge. Again, our number tonight is 866-285-4005. It's a Ruskin and Zach number that we use every afternoon. You can text us there as well. We're going to start in Waldron with Big Mike. What's going on, Big Mike?
He seemed kind of mad at halftime, didn't he? I think KJ got his butt chewed out.
I'm sure he
quit
did.
Throwing them floater pass. He quit throwing them floater pass, and he started actually throwing the ball, and that's how come it looks so much better in the second half. He kept overthrowing every deep pass, except for that one the guy managed to fall down and catch. And they were letting too many guys get behind them in all three games. The quarterbacks on those three teams stunk. You know, I don't know how good A&M's quarterback is, but you can't let all them guys get behind you. No. Of course, the running backs. God, how many running backs do we have? 9.
Seems like
They're great. I mean, anybody comes in there gains yards and doesn't do stupid things. So, but I think the butt chewing he got at halftime. I figure the quarterback coach or whoever told him throw the ball, quit doing that pitch thing like you're swinging, 60 yards from the dang green, and and he's hitting too much club because it's going over by his head.
No.
Anyway, that's about all I had to say. I think he's going to get better and better. I think the Texas interception messed with his head, and so he was doing that pitch shot.
Yeah.
And it was going over.
All right.
Appreciate it, Big
Thank
Mike.
you, Big Mike. Good stuff. Yeah, he. I was going to look up the split first half versus second half here.
And I'm sure it's definitely a big jump from first to second half. But when you watched him in the first half, the main reason he's floating a lot of those things is he's throwing off his back leg too much. And that creates a different angle. The ball starts to sail. He's not really following through on his throws. So I think once he figured that out and figured, hey, I need to kind of step into this, throw on my front leg, the accuracy improved.
Yeah. Only 7 attempts in the second half, of course, because the game was largely at hand at that point. But 4 out of 7, 10 out of 18 in the first half for Arkansas in the passing category. And of course, one of those 7 passes in the second half was Hornsby, and then one was Jones. So really, KJ threw it 5 times in the second half, and completed 3 of those. So not a lot of data in the second half, but yeah, I mean it's seems like a simple fix, but then again, it's you got 3 or 4 practices, so how much can you really do in a normal game week to address things like that.
Well, honestly, when it comes to KJ and the way that he throws the ball, we've seen the arm strength. We've seen that he can be accurate. I think it's mostly just a mental game with him. I think he's got to just, as we go week by week, that confidence slowly starts to build up. He starts to really start to feel himself. And when you have confidence and when you play with confidence, you play to the best of your ability. You're not second guessing yourself. You're following through on everything. You're playing at 100%. So it's as that confidence builds up over the next few weeks, I think that second half of the year KJ will look completely different from first half. And right now, 3-0 first half KJ is not bad.
Yeah.
You're not complaining.
You can't argue with the end result. You can't argue with the destination. The journey may be a little bit.
There might have been a bumpy road, but
yes,
we made it.
But that's right. It's where you wanted to be. 3-0. It's the best you could have hoped for at this point. Given that they did beat Texas thoroughly a week ago to get to and won today, so they're 3-0 going into the Texas A&M game next Saturday in Jerry World. All right, it is the Hog Reaction postgame here on ESPN Arkansas, presented by Game Day Lodge. We've got a lot to get into here. We're going to be on the air till 9 o'clock tonight with calls and texts and all kinds of stuff here. 866-285-4005. We'll let you all get organized and load up the calls, and we'll be right back with more here on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Game Day Lodge.
The Game Day Lodge in Branson is the perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team building activities. You'll find 10 bedrooms with 19 beds for up to 28 guests, 9 bathrooms, 17 TVs, poker table, 2 kitchens, 2 laundry rooms, a fire pit, 2 gas grills, outdoor basketball court, a heated indoor swimming pool nearby, and a 10-minute drive to Silver Dollar City. Not to mention near some of the best golf courses. Just search Game Day Lodge on Facebook. Game Day Lodge in Branson is the perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team building activities. You'll find 10 bedrooms with 19 beds for up to 28 guests, 9 bathrooms, 17 TVs, poker table, 2 kitchens, 2 laundry rooms, a fire pit, 2 gas grills, outdoor basketball court, a heated indoor swimming pool nearby, and a 10-minute drive to Silver Dollar City. Not to mention near some of the best golf courses. Just search Game Day Lodge on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Airbnb, and VRBO.
Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
I'm attorney Tim Smith with Elliott & Smith Law Firm in Fayetteville. As a former Razorback football player and native of Arkansas, I care deeply about this community. If you've been injured by the negligence of someone else, I'll be the hard hitter you need to fight for the compensation you deserve. Call us now at 479-JUSTICE. That's 587-8423. Our passion is our clients. That's why if we don't win, you don't pay. Elliott & Smith Law Firm, taking your injury personal.
Cupid's Lingerie revels in all things pleasure and play, including sexy apparel, romance accessories, and so much more. Day to night, fancy or funky, we've got you covered or uncovered.
Northwest Arkansas and areas beyond since 2008. Let us show you how our years of experience combined with a great selection of fabrics for all budgets can make reupholstery a smart, affordable choice for you. Call 657-6868 or come by today. Also, check us out online at joellisupholstery.com and Facebook at Joe Ellis Upholstery and Fabrics.
At Eat My Catfish, fall is our favorite time of the year, and football season isn't the only thing making a comeback. Starting in October, our famous seafood gumbo and Cajun boudin balls make their return to the menu. Ready for tailgating? Grab one of our family packs for a guaranteed winner at your watch party. With locations popping up all over the state, we've got you covered. Order online at eatmycatfish.com. Eat local, eat fresh, eat my catfish.
ESPN 99.5. This is Hog Reaction presented by Game Day Lodge.
Give it to Dominique Johnson, misdirects left side. Johnson at the goal line. Did he get in? Touchdown, Arkansas!
The perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team building activities. Just search Game Day Lodge on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Airbnb.
To Sanders coming right, puts his foot in the ground, cuts back up the middle, to the 20, to the 15, rocket to the 10, to the goal line, touchdown Arkansas!
Call or text the program at 866-285-4005.
With Drew Barrett, I'm Derek Ruskin here. Hog Reaction, presented by Game Day Lodge on ESPN Arkansas. Again, you can call us at 866-285-4005. Take a minute here if you want to update some other stuff going on. I saw that they're right before the half in the big Auburn-Penn State game. It's 14-10 Penn State.
I'm shocked
just before
it's close.
the half. Yeah,
I really thought Penn State was going to jump out on them, and Auburn doesn't have. I don't think they have the weapons on offense. I don't think they have the defense to really stick in there. But heck, apparently they're proving me wrong here.
They're another one of these unknowns because they've played two high school teams to start the years, and there's no way of knowing really anything. But they're right there in the whiteout and all of that there in Happy Valley, and it's a 4-point game just before the half.
Which, by the way, I learned this morning on College Game Day that when you think of the whiteout at Penn State, you think of a dominating atmosphere. Don't want to play during the whiteout. They're actually 500 during official whiteout games. They're 6-6.
About that?
Like that number is crazy to me because that's one of the first things you think of when you think of Penn State is the whiteout and Happy Valley, and it really shows that it doesn't really do that much. It doesn't affect it.
500 record, yeah, I'm with you. I thought they would be 10-1 or something and things like that, but no, it's not the case. So that is going on now before half. Earlier today in the league, I guess the noteworthy game was that Alabama hung on to beat Florida 31-29. Game went right down to the end, and the clock wasn't working, so it was hard to kind of figure out how much time was left. And Florida's trying to call a couple timeouts, get the ball back. They get it back, and they have a chance to run one play, and it just didn't really go anywhere. And Alabama hangs on and wins. So they stay perfect.
I'm shocked Florida was able to really stay in there. With the quarterback controversy that they've been having throughout the week, Jones is the only one that did play. Yeah. And I think Mullen came out earlier in the week, or I think on Friday, said, unless Jones gets hurt, we're not playing anybody else. So he put that rumor to bed, and I guess it helped energize the team. And I was shocked that going into this game, they were ranked 11th.
They said it was like a hamstring, and CBS had video of Richardson doing backflips on the field pregame. So what kind of hamstring injury is this where you're able to do a full round off or whatever on the field before the game? It's just a weird situation to get a handle on there with all that, because I think everybody thought the other guy was better, and yet Mullen is defiant.
Mullen's a weird dude.
He is a weird dude.
And you thought he was quirky at State, right? When he was at quirky, you're just like, he's in Starkville. That's silly little Dan Mullen. But now that he's gotten to Florida, it's become pretty weird. I mean, it seems like every week he kind of looks back at the quote-unquote tape of what he's done and gone, how can I beat it? How can I get weirder this week?
Yeah.
And he continues to find ways.
He's an overthink the plumbing kind of guy.
Oh, yeah.
Just always noodling with stuff, it seems like. That's a final. Here's some other games that are going on right now. Georgia all over South Carolina, 26-6 at the half. LSU at the half, 35-7 over Central Michigan, the Fighting McElwains. Stanford and Vandy, 14-all late in the first half. And Tulane and Ole Miss are delayed right now. We got some weather, I guess, in the Oxford area. So
if Vandy is tied with Stanford right now, Clay Helton deserved to lose his job. I mean, if Clay Helton is mad, or anybody around the country is mad that they should have given him a chance, should have let him finish out the season. This is ridiculous. That was a decent Stanford team. They're tied with Vandy. Yeah. That's puts all of that to bed. He deserved to lose. His job.
It's kind of like the Les Miles situation a few years ago, where they were gonna fire him and then they didn't, and then 2 games into the next season they fired him.
Yeah,
that's like the Clay. Like when you're gonna rip the cord, rip the cord.
Exactly. Pull the Band-Aid off.
We said that here when we knew early in year 2, okay, Morris isn't going to work.
It's not.
When are they going to do this? And I remember being like, look, I mean, we all know what this is. Just move on. And it took finally getting your pants pulled down by Western Kentucky, and they made the move. But I mean, that whole we'll start him another year and see what happens. It never
works. No one ever exits the season on that hot of a seat and comes out looking cool and collective on the other side. It doesn't happen.
No.
Just break it up, lose their number, and move on with your life.
Yeah. Okay. Patrick says I have to bring up the Memphis score so you don't have to pay the fine. So
I wasn't going to do it. I don't want to do it here on Hog Reaction. You can wait till Monday.
31-29 Memphis beats Mississippi State today. So there you go.
Love to hear it. Thanks for bringing it up. We're not going to talk about it. I'll talk about it on Monday, and Phil can yell at me for it. He gets joy out of yelling at me about it and assigning my quote-unquote fine, so I'm not going to take that away from him. Okay. And this is Hog Reaction. So it's not halftime. It's not Ruskin and Zach. This is Hog Reaction. We're here to talk about Arkansas, SEC, and that's it.
Yes. We've talked about that, and no one seems to want to talk about that, so we're trying to find something else to talk about.
Me and Zach, week 1, after Rice, we had to have taken 25, 30 calls. Yep. I'm sure y'all got like close to 50.
We got a ton of calls last week. People were excited, but I mean,
no excitement around the natural state today?
I mean,
nobody wants to talk?
I guess because it was Texas, I shouldn't have been surprised, but I've done this show a long time, Drew, and I always found out that when they won, no one called, and when they lost, everybody called. So they won today, so we're
I've experienced that before, right. Where people, and I always feel bad for producers, because I was one for I was a full-time producer for 4 or 5 years, right? And people want to call in and yell at the producer like I was on the field.
Oh, I know.
Or like I was on the court, or that I have the phone numbers of the coach and I can relay something to them. And it always just, I'm just like, why are you yelling at me, man? Like, send an email or do something. Like, it's not my fault. I did not play a single minute, single down of today's game. Don't yell at me.
Yeah.
I'm just here doing a job.
That's right. Just pressing buttons here.
Nobody calls you at your accounting job on Monday after the Hogs lose and blame you for everything, do they?
That's right. Exactly. All right. So this is, as Drew has mentioned, it's Hog Reaction, our post-game show here on ESPN Arkansas, presented by Game Day Lodge, the perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team building activities. They have beds for up to 28 people. So you can bring a big group, smaller group, whatever it is. Everything you need, fire pit, gas grills, outdoor basketball court, and they've got a heated indoor pool, sauna, open year-round within walking distance, just a 5-minute walk to Table Rock Lake. And, man, this is the place to go. If you've got an event coming up, family reunion at some point, any kind of team-building activity, the Game Day Lodge is where you need to go. For reservations, email them at reservations@lakelodges.rent. You can also look up the Game Day Lodge on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. They're also on Airbnb and VRBO. Jason and Sarah, they're big Hog fans, and we thank them, the Game Day Lodge, for bringing you Hog Reaction. We will get back to some phone calls in a moment here on Hog Reaction, presented by Game Day Lodge on ESPN Arkansas.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Game Day Lodge.
Touchdown! Whoa! The Game Day Lodge Lodge in Branson is the perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team building activities. You'll find 10 bedrooms with 19 beds for up to 28 guests, 9 bathrooms, 17 TVs, poker table, 2 kitchens, 2 laundry rooms, a fire pit, 2 gas grills, outdoor basketball court, a heated indoor swimming pool nearby, and a 10-minute drive to Silver Dollar City. Not to mention near some of the best golf courses. Just search Game Day Lodge on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Airbnb, and VRBO.
Summer is here and heat is your tire's worst enemy. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart and let us help fight the battle for you. We proudly offer America's most trusted brands such as Toyo. Trust us to help protect your last-minute getaways, open road adventures, and memories that outlast the drive. Boulevard, Southern Tire Mart and Toyo. We keep you rolling. Summer is here and heat is your tire's worst enemy. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart and let us help fight the battle for you. We proudly offer America's most trusted brands such as Toyo. Trust us to help protect your last-minute getaways, open road adventures, and memories that outlast the drive. When you can rely on your tires, you are free to enjoy the ride. Make sure you come visit us at 333 East Henry DeTonti Boulevard. Southern Tire Mart and Toyo. We keep you rolling.
When it comes to baling, the denser, the better. Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas can show you how roll belt round balers produce denser and higher quality round bales that drive down your production costs while driving up the nutrition of your bales. A competitive comparison showed New Holland roll belt round balers provide savings in net wrap, transportation, and lower storage losses. It's like being able to afford a new baler every other year. Stop by Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas soon to learn firsthand about the benefits of roll belt round balers.
Previously on Ruskin and Zach.
Arkansas was fined $100,000 for storming the field. Yeah, look what happened.
See what you did? DQ, you were there. Did you storm the field?
No, I didn't.
I had a real question. Did anybody in that mass of humanity, and at one point there were people from inline to inline, like you couldn't see the field. You could just see humans. Did anybody out there make a little love during that whole experience there on the field at Razorback Stadium? Anybody?
No.
No?
No.
What happens when you storm the field stays on when you storm the field. I wondered about that. Like how much hanky-panky is going on. Consensual, of course, between people in love. Of course, that's what we're talking about here. But, I mean, somebody was making out with somebody down there.
Oh, no. There were people making out. I just don't think there was a...
I had to laugh when it happened on TV. I'm watching it. And all you could see are phones in the air being held in hands. And I'm like, man, you guys don't get it. Like, this is a moment to be experienced. Put the phone in your pocket, okay? Just soak this in. Don't worry about how many likes you get on the gram, all right? Like, this is a moment where you put the phone in your pocket and just breathe it in. Storming the field like that. I mean, come on. But, you know, all I could see as they were they were shooting across the top of the people to try and see Pittman or whatever in the getting escorted off the field. And all you can see are a bunch of phones up in the air. I'm like, man, you don't understand. Don't understand. No one's going to watch that video in 5 years. In 5 days. Much less 5 years.
No.
Come on.
Check out the Fish City Grill Ruskin and Zach podcast on hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's that time of year again. Tailgates, touchdowns, and getting hog wild. Maybe a little too hog wild. Watson Law Firm understands that sometimes we make mistakes. Let us represent you for your DUI or other criminal matters. Jeff Watson and Josh Daniels are experienced attorneys, here to handle whatever blitz life has thrown at you, so that you can get back to enjoying your college football Saturdays. The Watson Law Firm in Springdale. Only one call away at 479-750-7717.
Ever felt like Mr. or Ms. 56-439B? Didn't think so. You're a person, not an insurance policy, and no one knows that more than Biddle Armstrong Insurance. Biddle Armstrong takes the time to get to know you because they're part of your community. As an independent insurance agency, Biddle Armstrong shops your life insurance needs through over 50 of the leading life insurance companies in the nation to help you choose insurance that's just right for you, providing appropriate coverage, competitive rates, and excellent local customer service. Call Biddle Armstrong today, 443-0808.
KKS Goshen Fayetteville, K237GR Johnson. This is ESPN Northwest Arkansas. This is Hog Reaction presented by Game Day Lodge.
Give it to Dominique Johnson. Misdirects left side. Johnson at the goal line. Did he get in? Touchdown, Arkansas!
The perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team building activities. Just search Game Day Lodge on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Airbnb.
To DeSanders coming right, puts his foot in the ground, cuts back up the middle. To the 20, to the 15. Rocket to the 10, to the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Call or text the program at 866-285-4005.
With Drew Barrett, I'm Derek Ruskin here on Hog Reaction on ESPN Arkansas, presented by Game Day Lodge. Austin is on the line in Waldron. What's going on, Austin?
What's going on, guys?
Hey.
I'll try not to complain too much here, but I think
Good start.
We saw the four-man front on the defensive line. You got the two Missouri transfers, and you got Ridgeway in there and Nichols in there, and if that ain't top 3 or 4 in the SEC right there, I mean, them guys that's the real deal right there. But KJ Jefferson, I mean, overthrowing guys like that, I don't know if they're working on mechanics or anything like that, but I mean, it's not hard to watch the TV and see when you're throwing off your back foot like that and staring down a receiver like he's doing. I mean, it's pretty common what's going to happen. Pittman said it. I mean, when he misses high. There's a way to fix that, and it's in his mechanics because it's not there. It looks like crap, really. He just stands there and he's just staring them down. I mean, that's not going to make the cut whenever we're in Arlington or in Georgia or Ole Miss. That's not, staring them down. That crap ain't going to work. It's going to have to get better. And, they're trying to use this running quarterback deal, and it takes Traylon Burks out of the game a little bit, here and there. I don't know if the guy's ankles are hurting. If they are, quit sending him on these little quick slants and outs and this and that, and just let him run deep. Just let him run and throw the ball up. Let your guy go make a play. But I don't know. We don't see a bunch of it. Every time he gets the ball, it's in the backfield, and it worked out once today. But, I don't know. There's a lot that can get better. At the end, you got the end result you want. You win, you cover, whatever. But it's just not. It's too sloppy. Too many penalties. It's just too many wasted drives. I mean, it's not. And it's not just wasted drives where you're burning up 4 or 5 minutes. It's too many 3 and outs. Our third downs are awful. It's awful. It's not going to make the cut. We're not going to. We might look good against Texas, this and that, but if you can't do better than whatever we ended up with on third downs, I know at one point it was like 4 of 11 or some point. That crap ain't gonna work. But I'm complaining too much. That's all I got. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Austin.
At least he's very self-aware.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's fine. I mean, look, there's a lot to correct there, and that's what the one of the disconnects here is on the outside. Everybody's like, hey, they win. There's nothing wrong. But on the inside, they're actually picking this thing apart pretty with a fine-tooth comb, even after a win in those walls. So that's the stuff they're looking at.
Yeah, basically to go a complete 180 from what the caller just said. We had a guy on Mike and Mary Hodges on our YouTube commented, everybody griping about Kendall Briles and KJ. Well, I guess our sorry OC and terrible quarterback caused us to stumble into 633 yards of offense.
Right.
Dang it. Like, I mean, and they got a point too. I mean, if it works, it works. It might not look as pretty as we all would like it to be, but a win's a win.
It is a win.
3-0.
But I think people see that at some point the lack of a passing game is going to bite them in the butt.
It is.
It's going to happen at some point. Could happen next week. Could be later on.
Because we know the talent level of our opponents are just going to keep rising. I mean, this gauntlet of a schedule that you have over the next 4 weeks is going to be brutal. I mean, you just hope that you stay healthy to make it to that bye week on Halloween.
Yeah. So let me ask this then, because there's been a lot of people kind of echoing Austin's sentiments on the text machine. Have they beaten a good team yet? Rice, probably not.
that's up for debate. You know, I mean,
what's Texas is playing Rice right now. I haven't looked at the score in that game, but
I mean, it really just depends on how good Texas turns out to be, and you hope that you don't run into a Mississippi State situation like you did last year, where you get that top 25 win, and then oh no, it turns out LSU was really bad, and that's why State looked good. And oh no, State's really bad, and that's why we looked good. You hope that you don't fall into that same pattern this year.
Texas is up 30-0 in the second quarter on Rice.
Okay.
So there's something there. For whatever reason, this is easy to say after the fact, and we heard from we have a Texas fan that calls our show that said this, and it's an easy take, but I think it's also might be correct. Like Thompson should have been the quarterback, not Hudson Card.
It was a no. You would think just off of the play that we saw in that game, it'd be a no-brainer.
He's 9 out of 10 passing so far tonight. He has thrown a pick though, but that's the only incompletion he has. So he's completed every pass. Just one of them went to Rice, and 9 of them went to Texas guys.
Someone caught the ball.
That's right.
Every time.
Someone caught every deal.
We don't have to nitpick about who caught it.
That's right.
Someone caught it.
Someone caught the ball. That's right. Yeah. So this is. I don't know. He's not. He's not Joe Montana back there. But he has a certain set of skills that are. As much as let me say it this way. The passing could cost them at some point, probably will. But his ability to create with his feet is going to cost someone else at some point and benefit Arkansas in one of these big games. I have no doubt about that.
He's a double-edged sword. While some of it might cut you, you're going to end up cutting the other teams up, right? So his ability with his feet and the ability that he has to throw right now, it's not excellent. It's not peak of the SEC, but it's doable. You can work with it. You can work around it, and I do truly think that he's going to get better. I think that game by game, the accuracy is going to get there because the confidence gets there. That's the main thing. With accuracy, it has nothing to do with physical. It's a mental part of the game, your accuracy, because he knows he has the arm. He knows that he can make some plays and he can put the ball. The more that he puts the ball where it's supposed to be, the more his confidence raises and the more it becomes a 100% thing that we're going to see the accuracy improve because he's just going to believe in himself more.
Yeah, and it's definitely a mental thing, and there are some mechanical things too that you pointed out, and that we've had some callers.
Don't throw on your back foot.
No, that usually results in bad things happening. But it's just so fascinating because it's okay. So you don't do this well. People of a certain generation. I can't believe I'm saying this, but that's how old I am. It's like Matt Jones. Like Matt Jones wasn't a great passer, but you know what? He would turn a corner on a running play, and all of a sudden he's gone 60 yards and dunked the ball in the goalpost, and you're like, what just happened here? And there's a little bit of that in play here as well. He's not Tyler Wilson throwing the ball, but another thing the caller said there, Drew, is like, well, they need to do more. If he can't complete deep passes, don't call them.
Yeah,
don't do it. Don't.
You play towards call towards your player's strength. And one thing that I haven't really heard a lot of people's opinion about, and I think that we're 3 games in. That's a decent sample size, and I would love to get everyone's opinion on this. How do you trust him as a game manager? How do you trust him as a general back there running your offense and making sure everybody's there? Because you see a lot of great college quarterbacks that's really what they are. That is their number one skill, is managing the game, being that general out there on the field and controlling the game. We heard it a lot around a lot of the Alabama quarterbacks, up until you got to Jalen Hurts and Tua. Most of them, they were just good generals. They were just good game managers. Could they throw the ball? Yeah. But you didn't rely on them to win. You relied on them to get the ball where it needed to be to win. So how do people view KJ's game management? And I think through 3 games, it's a decent amount of playing size. And I would say as a game manager, he gets an A for me.
It's a lot of, when you look at the drive charts, a lot of feast or famine. Because 5 drives, 3 and outs, and then you had 7 drives where they ended in points. Touchdown or field goal. And then the one drive at the end where it's just you're running out the clock. Yeah. So it was all or nothing, more or less. But, yeah, every time they punted 5 times, it was a 3-and-out. They didn't have a drive that stalled somewhere. It was just a 3-and-out. So,
well, let me ask you this. Going off of the game management thing, do you feel that KJ is a liability? Is he going to lose you the game? He might not win it for you, but do you truly feel like him being in there is a liability in losing the game?
I haven't seen him make a ton of just terrible decisions, which is that's the name of the game. I mean, you want to talk – if you're missing high on passes, like nobody's catching it.
Yeah,
that's
fine.
That's you can live with that. But, I mean, just throwing the ball up into like 5 people covering your receiver or whatever. Like, I just don't see a lot of bad decision making in these first 3 games. He's not the completion percentage. Of course, it's 62% by the way on the season, even though it was 50 something today. They want it to be 65, so he's running right around where they want it to be. But I trust him. I don't see him just make. Some of these other games I watched, just terrible decisions are made.
What were you
at the quarterback spot? I don't see that from him. I really don't.
I don't either, and I think that's why he can be the guy that leads this team to something that none of us really expected going into this year. I think expectations have risen now that you are sitting at 3-0 and top 20 team in the country according to the AP and the coaches poll. I think he can be the guy that leads you there because his decision making isn't terrible, because he doesn't seem to make too many mistakes and he manages the game.
All right, we will continue with more our Hog Reaction postgame here on ESPN Arkansas, presented by Game Day Lodge. You can call us here at 866-285-4005. More calls or texts and more reaction from Drew and I on this Arkansas win over Georgia Southern after this.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Game Day Lodge.
Whoa! The Game Day Lodge in Branson is the perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team building activities. You'll find 10 bedrooms with 19 beds for up to 28 guests, 9 bathrooms, 17 TVs, poker table. Game Day Lodge in Branson is the perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team building activities. You'll find 10 bedrooms with 19 beds for up to 28 guests, 9 bathrooms, 17 TVs, poker table, 2 kitchens, 2 laundry rooms, a fire pit, 2 gas grills, outdoor basketball court, a heated indoor swimming pool nearby, and a 10-minute drive to Silver Dollar City. Not to mention near some of the best golf courses. Just search Game Day Lodge on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Airbnb, and VRBO.
three largest U.S. banks measured by total deposits. Rates as of February 4th, 2020 and may vary by state. Goldman Sachs Bank USA, member FDIC.
ESPN 99.5. This is Hog Reaction presented by Game Day Lodge.
Give it to Dominique Johnson. Misdirects left side. Johnson at the goal line. Did he get in? Touchdown, Arkansas!
The perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team building activities. Just search Game Day Lodge on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Airbnb.
To DeSanders coming right, puts his foot in the ground, cuts back up the middle. To the 20, to the 15. Rocket to the 10, to the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Call or text the program at 866-285-4005.
With Drew Barrett, Derek Ruskin here, Hog Reaction. Presented by Game Day Lodge on ESPN Arkansas and on hitthatline.com. If you missed it over the last few hours or so, 45-10. Arkansas beats Georgia Southern. They're 3-0 on the year. And
exactly where you want to be.
That's where you want to be going into. And now you can talk about what's next, which is undefeated Texas A&M, undefeated Arkansas, next Saturday afternoon on CBS at Jerry World. In so much on this on the line here.
Oh yeah,
so much at stake, which is what you want. You know, you want to play games like this that matter. And I say this all the time. Like, there's no to get more like attention and notoriety and game and to get more run nationally. These are games at some point.
You got to
maybe they're not ready yet, but at some point we have to win a game like this, and that's you certainly like their chances now than maybe going into the season.
Yeah, you definitely do. I mean, I don't know how many people realistically thought you'd be 3-0 at this point. I think it all ties back to last week and the big win over Texas. And, now obviously you throttled Georgia Southern. I mean, 45-10. You feel confident. You're ready to go. And like you said, maybe they are ahead of schedule, right? Maybe it's not this year, it's next year. But still, year 2 with Sam Pittman is turning out to be one of the best year 2s that this program has seen in a long time for how low it was under Chad Morris. To the rock bottom that you hit, getting basically made fun of by Colorado State and Western Kentucky. I mean, programs that have no business coming into Northwest Arkansas and leaving with a W. So the fact that we're sitting here talking about a top 20 matchup next week in in Jerry's World against the Aggies at the coveted 2:30 CBS slot, you're ahead of schedule. I mean, as much as we have kind of criticized and nitpicked about a lot of things throughout this post-game show, because honestly, we need things to talk about.
Ding.
Radio is a lot. You talk about the positives, but you also got to talk about the negatives.
It's a critical medium.
Exactly. You've got to cover both sides of it. But I think when you step back from it and you see the progress that this team has made under Sam Pittman, it has to bring a smile to your face. And I'm pretty sure most of the natural state out there is smiling. Even the people that are still critical, still wondering if KJ's the guy, still maybe wanting to see Malik Hornsby try to get in there and do something. I think you're still, at the end of the day, you're still smiling. You're still happy from where you're sitting right now.
And there's nothing that can be done about this. But if this was a traditional home and home, this game would be in Fayetteville.
It would.
And can you imagine what that would be like after the atmosphere at Texas? If you didn't have this this contract that at one point served a purpose, doesn't serve that purpose anymore.
It doesn't.
But man, can you imagine if a game like this was in your building? I mean, it would just be
the atmosphere.
It'd be incredible. It would,
really
and it'd be twice in a month where you would have that kind of atmosphere. And that stadium has not had that kind of atmosphere that often, ever, really. I mean, growing up here, everybody talked about the wild games at War Memorial, and it was kind of quiet up here. That is totally gone the other way now with what they've done with game day and just the whole situation there. It is it could be that way, but it's not going to be that way. So Razorback fans and Aggie fans, I guess, are going to have to make a bunch of noise at Jerry World next week if they're going to be a part of the game. Arkansas's back in town against Auburn. So.
Yeah, sitting 3-0, you expect it to be somewhat 50-50. A lot of people heading down to Jerry's World next week. And a little PSA, if it's your first time going, because I learned this the hard way at the 2019 Cotton Bowl. make sure you enter the stadium on the right side because there is no concourse that you can walk around.
Okay.
We entered the wrong side. And I blame my brother because I told him, I was like, it says gate so-and-so, and that was the other side. And he's like, oh, we'll just walk around. And the people that took our tickets looked at it, and I felt like they looked at each other going, we'll let them in. We'll let them figure it out. And you have to literally take escalators and stairs all the way up to the top because it's the only concourse that goes all the way around and back down. Took us luckily we got to the stadium an hour before game time. We got in our seats 5 minutes before kickoff.
Wow.
So PSA, make sure you enter on the right side.
Go in the door you're designed to go in.
Whatever the ticket says, go in that door. Don't think you'll eventually wind up there because you won't.
All right, we'll get some final thoughts coming up here in a moment. Drew Barrett, Derek Ruskin here. Hog Reaction presented by Game Day Lodge on ESPN Arkansas.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Game Day Lodge.
Whoa! The Game Day Lodge in Branson is the perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team building activities. You'll find 10 bedrooms with 19 beds for up to 28 guests, 9 bathrooms, 17 TVs, poker table, 2 kitchens, 2 laundry rooms, a fire pit, 2 gas grills, outdoor basketball court, a heated indoor swimming pool nearby, and a 10-minute drive to Silver Dollar City. Not to mention near some of the best golf courses. Just search Game Day Lodge on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Airbnb, and VRBO.
Baseball is America's favorite pastime, and we know sometimes you can enjoy the game a little too much, maybe get a little rowdy in the outfield or heckle a little too hard. Watson Law Firm understands that sometimes we make mistakes. Let us represent you for your DUI or other criminal matters. Jeff Watson and Josh Daniels are experienced attorneys, here to handle whatever curveball life has thrown at you, so that you can get back to enjoying your 7th-inning stretches. The Watson Law Firm in Springdale. One call away at 479-750-7717.
Summer is here and heat is your tire's worst enemy. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart and let us help fight the battle for you. We proudly offer America's most trusted brands such as Toyo. Trust us to help protect your last-minute getaways, open road adventures, and memories that outlast the drive. When you can rely on your tires, you are free to enjoy the ride. Make sure you come visit us at 333 East Henry DeTati Boulevard. Southern Tire Mart and Toyo. We keep you rolling.
When it comes to baling, the denser, the better. Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas can show you how roll belt round balers produce denser and higher quality round bales that drive down your production costs while driving up the nutrition of your bales. A competitive comparison showed New Holland roll belt round balers provide savings in net wrap, transportation, and lower storage losses. It's like being able to afford a new baler every other year. Stop by Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas soon to learn firsthand about the benefits of roll belt round balers.
At Shell, we know from the time you get up to the time you wrap up,
good night,
there's a lot of meetups, eat-ups, and hurry-ups. So come to Shell and get 3 things done at once. Fill up with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus to help keep your engine running like new. Save up with the Fuel Rewards program and never pay full price for gas again. And snack up with in-store rewards to save even more at the pump. Make the most of the stop you need to make with Shell. And engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
Are you finally ready to sell that motorcycle or ATV that is just collecting dust in your garage? Harley, Honda, Polaris, Yamaha, or anything like it. RumbleOn.com will pay you cash today, and in minutes, you have a real cash offer. We will pay you cash before we pick it up. No more strangers coming to your house from a listing site. Use promo code RADIO for an extra $300 on your cash offer. Get your cash offer today. RumbleOn.com. Fast bikes, faster cash.
Previously on Halftime.
Give it down to fans who still don't know when to get loud and when to be quiet. There's a group of people who like to get loud when you have the ball and like to be quiet when you're on defense. It's the other way around, people. Can we just all get on the same spectrum?
We got Joe in Fayetteville on hold. Hey, Joe, you're on halftime. What's up?
Hey, guys. Great show after a big win. I was going to chime in. You know, one of the worst kind of fans you can be around at a game are fans that try to police the stadium and tell other fans when to make noise, when to be quiet. You know, some kid wants to yell when his team's on offense. Big deal, really. You know, if you think those players down the field really hear that person or have any kind of effect on the game, I mean, when they're in a away game, they're used to calling plays when fans are screaming. So, you know, some kid wants to scream on offense, so be it.
Caleb was waiting on hold through the break. Caleb, you're in halftime. What's up?
Hey, I am so glad that y'all finally brought this topic up about idiots that like to yell when we're on offense.
Thank you.
This has been near and dear to my heart for years, and somebody finally brought it up.
Thank you, Caleb.
I mean, that's why you have the quarterback. Somebody said KJ would do this a couple of times. Quiet down a little bit, folks. When your quarterback makes that request, you've gotta go with it, right?
Yeah, it's just mind-boggling. I attend many high school games as well, and you got idiot parents that like to stomp on the bleachers when we're going for it on 4th and 1. You should be barred from the game if you're not smart enough to realize that you yell on defense and shut up on offense.
Thank you. Caleb, do you heckle other fans that you're sitting around if they're not going at going to the shit?
If you're a grown adult, I wouldn't yell at a kid or
He was a
anything.
college student. He was at least 20.
I 100% would have done the exact same thing. I'd have been like, shut up. And I know that may be horrible or whatever, but I have thought about this for years. And I'm like, if you're just not smart enough to figure that out, that you be quiet on offense and you yell on defense, then just don't even go to the game.
Only on ESPN 99.5. ESPN 99.5. This is Hog Reaction presented by Game Day Lodge.
Give it to Dominique Johnson, misdirects, left side, Johnson at the goal line. Did he get in? Touchdown, Arkansas!
The perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team building activities. Just search Game Day Lodge on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Airbnb.
To Sanders coming right, puts his foot in the ground, cuts back up the middle, to the 20, to the 15, rocket to the 10, to the goal line, touchdown Arkansas!
Call or text the program at 866-285-4005.
All right, winding down on Hog Reaction here, presented by Game Day Lodge. Drew Barrett, Derek Ruskin. Of course, more reaction starting Monday morning on The Rush, 6, halftime 11-1, and then Zach and I at 3 o'clock on Monday afternoon. More reaction to all of this that has happened both in Arkansas and, of course, the entire football weekend. We'll have you all covered there. Auburn's getting it put to them right now by, well, they just scored against 21-17 in the third quarter.
I really thought that would be a blowout. I did.
Yeah. And we'll end with this. Kevin Kelly and Presbyterian lose to Campbell today 72-0.
Ooh. Did he have to punt?
Yes.
He did eventually punt.
They did punt. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's when you know he was defeated.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. It's not going well. No. They had to punt. And apparently that whole operation didn't go that well either. Nothing goes well when it's 72-0.
No, it's not.
I don't think Kevin Kelly's getting the USC job, for those of you that are curious about that across our state here with all of that stuff. But that's about it. I'm sure we'll do this again at some point. So this was fun, and thanks for those that participated.
All 4 of you.
That's right. Thank you. We'll be back next time. Enjoy the rest of your night, everybody.
Golf trips and team building activities. Search Game Day Lodge on Facebook.